Irving cousin, there was a little bit of thief in the night where criminal tried to steal an ATM machine by using this heavy equipment in Tobago. Just a little bit of advice to those criminals. Madam Boss Lady will be cracking down on crime because the U.S. Navy SEALs will be in Trinidad and Tobago to crack down on crimes. My Trini cousins, do not be afraid. Madam Boss Lady has your back because there will be boots on the ground to fight these criminal activity. Madam Boss Lady has your back. Thieves, criminals, Madam Boss Lady is coming after you. Boots will be on the ground in Trinidad and Tobago to crack down on criminal activities. Madam Boss Lady is on the prowl.
I'm here on Shelburne Street in Plymouth right now, where one of the most daring attempted robberies took place in Tobago last night. Police say bandits stole this backhoe right behind me and then made their way to this location where they broke into the ATM outlet. Now, they weren't able to get the money, but the incident has left residents shaken, describing it as like a movie. Police are investigating. Stefan Nicholas, CNC3 News, Plymouth.
So this happened in Tobago overnight. This is a whole different level of desperate. I never know men in Tobago was capable of doing something like this. I know Trinidad, yeah, but Tobago, wow. So these fellas and them stole a whole backhoe to put on a robbery. They went by the ATM, rip out the ATM. They had to pick up there, thinking that they was going to use the backhoe, put the machine on top of the van, and bust out. And ching ching, cash, my money, ha 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 ha. Well, boy, the backhoe stole on them, and I had no choice but to leave the machine on the ground there, leave the backhoe, and bust out. That is what I call desperate. Desperate to a different level. Telling me how you could tell me how these men sit down and plan that, hey, we're gonna and thief Mr. Ruckus backhoe, and we go down by the ATM late in the night now, when everybody's sleeping, right? And yeah, we go like ourselves, we go drink, we go buy things, we go eat, you know, and boom, all I did all of that, and you had to leave the machine right there, right? Telling me, every day something. I know there's going on the calendar. There's going on the Trinidad calendar. Every day something new in this place. Every single day.
Thieves in Tobago stole a backhoe, then ripped an ATM from a building last night. They then watched their plan collapse when the backhoe stalled, forcing them to leave empty-handed. The overnight heist was caught on CCTV. The stolen backhoe was left abandoned on the scene along with the ATM. No cash was taken.
So let them use a backhoe and break open the ATM and a dog. I telling you, dog, they hold everything. And they put money in the ATM today. They put money in the ATM. So everything trips. Why Plymouth going?
So apparently somebody thief a backhoe and come and rip out the ATM in Plymouth here and bust it open and go on with money and thing. And so they thief the backhoe from down by YMCA, come up Plymouth, rip open the ATM and go on with the stash.
Nah. I'm telling you, them boy, see. Look, so it is pain game and doing them thing, eh? Pain game and doing them thing, eh? Nah, I don't feel this. Alright, no problem.
Hey, recording? Listen up. Yeah, good. Wow.
This is the device located at Freeport ATM. Right? Bravo 1 is contacted. Instructions was given out to take photos and to take down the device. This is the device that attached to Freeport ATM. Right, as you can see, they duplicated the vent on the ATM, and this is what the original ATM is supposed to look like.
Somebody called him.
So someone asked me to highlight this for them. Watch how you just can't trust people. The people that you work with, the people that you laugh and you talk with every single day. So the person was an MTS Judiciary Security Officer attached to the Sangre Grande Magistrate's Court, reportedly came to work, went to an ATM to withdraw cash, returned and secured her wallet inside her handbag. It was later discovered that $1,300 was missing, and allegations were made that a colleague accessed the bag and took the money. A report was subsequently made to the Sangre Grande police station. Incidents like these leave many people asking the same question: who can we really trust? It is unfortunate when someone feels unsafe even within a workplace that is connected to the justice system. Hopefully the matter is thoroughly investigated and the truth comes to light. It's so disappointing when the alleged theft happens in a place when people expect honesty and professionalism. A colleague going into my bag and taking $1,300 is a serious breach of trust. You won't believe how this bothering me, oh my God. And the sad thing, it has no camera there, so you know nothing going to come out of it. Wow, that's crazy. You see how you can't trust people out here? People watching you and pretending to smile in your face, pretending to be your friend, and marking what you have in it. Wow.
This is real madness here. So this happened in Cuba, where bandits snatched an envelope from a pastor's hand with $24,000 in it. So you'll see the pastor by his vehicle outside his home, and you see this guy walking, crossing the street. He's going to approach the pastor. Real setup thing in it. And while a silver Tida PDN 2037 waiting for when he snatched the envelope. Watch it there. See the car pull up? A silver Tida PDN 2037. You see they grab it and they run him. Pastor run. And the son calling. Leave them. Real setup thing. Real madness, but I agree with this son. That leave them because next minute they have a gun and they turn you, right? But some people in the comments here start talking about thief from a thief make God smile, and that probably donation money or thief. Yo, do you all know that there are pastors who have job, full-time job, and also have business as well? So you all need to stop that nonsense, boy. In Trinidad, we reach a place where we start blaming the victim instead of the persons who committing the crimes, right? So you're studying about, oh, that probably church money, oh, that probably thief money, and you're studying the bandits and men, boy. Ah, boy, we rich. I pray the police hold them and deal with them accordingly.
But now, it will be easy. So many questions here. A man who stole a magistrate's bank card and withdraw over $150,000 in 5 months will answer for more than 50 charges in court. The 47-year-old man is expected to appear in court today to answer more than 50 charges of unauthorized use of an ATM card, police said. Sources confirm the man described as a close family friend of the magistrate lived at the Magistrate Arima home where he was paid to do maintenance work. Police said he allegedly stole one of the magistrate bank cards and used it several times between October 2024 and April 2025 to withdraw more than $115,000. Wow. So that magistrate didn't miss that card. And I'm on the real brave to take that card. There's something missing here. Something missing in this whole story here.
So you telling me I work in my money coming through the bank in Scotia Bank, and because I want to take out a big lump sum, them telling me I have to get a job letter? That is madness. That is total madness. I have to get a job letter to take out my own money. Yes, Scotia Bank and penal. Scotia Bank and penal, because I want to take out a lump sum of money. I have to get a job letter. That is madness. That is my money. All you see the money coming from a company. The company not even from Trinidad. And I had to get a job letter from the company to take out my money. Madness. Madness taking place in Trinidad. Madness.
Gary Aboud to face trial over 2021 COVID-19 protest charges. Environmental activist and corporate secretary of Fishermen and Friends of the Sea, Gary Aboud, is set to go on trial on September 18th over allegations that he breached COVID-19 public health regulations during a protest in Port of Spain nearly 5 years ago.
So there was an attempted failed robbery heist or ATM heist in Tobago, in the twin island of Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm actually glad that it failed, because we should not really support such kind of activity. It's criminal, and it's good that we teach our children. And okay, these were big people, but of course this particular behavior, it was actually nurtured from when they were young. So this activity was supposed to be a major criminal operation that turned into one of the most embarrassing moments caught on camera. There was this group of young men who were attempting to steal an ATM, like a whole body of ATM. But instead of escaping with the cash, they left behind with confusion and with a damaged equipment. You see, I mean, that is what they were supposed to get, because that kind of activity is not really supported. No, we don't support that. That was not good at all, to destroy property. Someone invested in that bank, and these investors, they have gone into losses already. So this story has shocked many of us. It has not only shocked the people of TNT, but also us, and not just because of the attempted robbery, no, but because of how badly the plan failed. So today we have to talk about what really happened, and why is it that Trinidadians are talking about it, and what this incident says about crime, security, and public confidence. So according to the reports that we've seen, the videos that we've seen, we can clearly see that the suspects from the CCTV arrived with a very heavy equipment that is a stolen bag. Or you can imagine you are stealing something that you don't even know how to use it. These people. So the goal was simple. It was to remove that ATM and take it away and disappear. But then, who is God? Who is God? Because God saw that this particular thing is not good at all. So in order to teach people lessons that theft is not good, things did not go as planned, and the security cameras captured their entire attempt. By the way, we saw the suspects struggling, and they moved the ATM, the whole of it. But then, hey, getting away with it was where the problem came in. The machine was too difficult to handle. Oh man, I'm just happy. The entire equipment failed to load, and the operation became kind of chaotic, and they were in a rush. So you could see all the confusion. So these suspects, eventually they abandoned that attempt and left the ATM behind and escaped. So if you actually talk about the footage, I can tell you that that was one of the biggest part of the story, by the way, because you could clearly see everything. I mean, many of us could not believe that what we were seeing, by the way, because number one, I was trying to ask myself, like, where was the security personnel? Because each and every big business, especially banks, they must have somebody to actually to secure the surrounding and ensure that even the customers that come in to take some cash are safe and they know to use it. So there is no bank that is ever left without any security personnel. So I don't know what was wrong with this. And if there was somebody that was that was supposed to be around there that day, then they should be in a position to explain where were they when these people arrived, because we couldn't even see where the guy was. So this was a crime attempt, of course, and playing out like a scene from a movie. Like, we could not believe it. It looked like a movie, by the way, but of course, yeah, not a real movie. So these people didn't have successful escape. They struggled. We could see it in camera. So I mean, it was just chaotic, but again, we do not support this kind of behavior. So Trinidadians joked about all these footages and everything, but again, there's a serious issue that we need to talk about now. That is about crime in Trinidad and Tobago. You see, many people are asking, like, how did this happen? How confident were these thieves? Why did they believe this plan would work? And how secure are public facilities? Because you see, an ATM is supposed to represent convenience, an ATM is supposed to represent trust, and an ATM is supposed to represent safety. But then when criminals target financial systems, you see it's going to affect everybody. So this particular incident raises concerns about security. You see, banks investors invest heavily in protection, security, safety, and that is why all ATMs in the world, as long as it's a banking facility, they have cameras, they have alarms, they have tracking systems. There is security, but again, you see people continuing to try new methods. If you see around the world, ATM crimes have taken different forms. Some have involved or they have used physical attacks, others are using technological attacks, others are using what do we call reverse psychology. So the fight between the criminals and the security systems will continue like forever, because if you seal one particular security safety, then another one comes. So this story happened at a very sensitive time. That was around 2 a.m. in the morning, and I can tell you Trinidad and Tobago has been dealing with concerns about these types of incidences. So the police have been under pressure of late, and people want safer communities, they want, faster results, and they want actions. So if you look at such incidences, they increase what the public are saying about crime prevention in Trinidad and Tobago. So as you can see from the clips, the reaction was kind of mixed, and you could see some making jokes about it. It's not a laughing matter, because you see the operation failed like so dramatically. And I was happy, by the way. I am very happy that it failed, because you can imagine if it could have succeeded. That would mean that that particular branch would have lost so many customers. And remember, we have people that are working there to support their families. So that would have meant that customers will go away, and these people will actually not have customers, and that will affect like everybody, like over 100 people, because most of the time one person is being depended on by almost 5 people. Anyway, I'm happy that it failed. As much as Trinidadians were kind of laughing at that particular failure, it should not distract us from the bigger issue, because this was a crime that was still attempted, and people felt worried. I also felt worried, The question is not only about why did the criminals fail. The bigger question here is why did they try it in the first place? So we have so many lessons to learn from this particular incident, because every incident teaches us something. For the people, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, it shows the importance of security awareness. For the government, for the institutions, it shows the need to stay ahead of criminal activities and forms also. For the villages and communities, it shows that crime affects everybody. So the goal should be prevention and not reaction. So the failed ATM heist in Tobago will probably be remembered for so many years, not because it succeeded, but because it failed in such a public way. And a serious crime attempt became a national talking point, not even a national, a worldwide, because remember, I'm not even from Tobago. I'm in East Africa and I'm talking about it. So you can imagine, and of course, we have to accept that crime is real and we need to prevent it. And also, we need to be accountable. Our governments need to be accountable. I don't know what you think about it, by the way, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think that this particular incident reveals a deeper problem with crime and security? What's your thought? Kindly, let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it, because you see, security does not only affect you, it also affects us here in Africa and across the world. So if we get to talk about it, then it's easier to be aware of our surrounding, and it's going to help us like so much. Thank you for watching up to this point. I truly appreciate your presence. I don't take it for granted. I'll see you in the next video.